Morning, everyone. What an exciting day. It's good to be here today, and it's my absolute pleasure to be here today with Chelsea Quirk with Indigenous Tourism of Alberta, Rachel Ludwig with Tourism Canmore Kananaskis, James Jackson with Tourism Industry Association of Alberta, and Derek Luke with Canada West Ski Areas Association. Albertans are blessed to live in one of the most desirable places in the world. That is why, since 2019, our government has increased the size of Alberta's provincial parks and recreation areas by over 300,000 hectares, protecting our wildlife and natural landscape for people to enjoy. All-season resorts area key to this vision, making it easier for Albertans from all walks of life to enjoy their own backyard. Not to mention enabling responsible development of sustainable world-class tourism experiences will also help to strengthen and diversify Alberta's economy, creating jobs and prosperity. And today, I'm excited to announce that Castle, Fortress, and Nakiska are being designated as Alberta's first all-season resorts area. For decades, red tape has restricted these resorts operations to the winter operations only and limited their ability to simply maintain the existing facilities. Castle, Fortress, and Nakiska are proud pieces of Alberta's heritage, inspiring generations of athletes and outdoor enthusiasts, hosting world-class events like the 1988 Olympics, and serving as a backdrop for blockbuster movies like The Revenant, Jumanji, and Inception. With today's designations, we are helping revitalize the iconic ski resort while minimizing the impact on the environment. Premier Peter Lougheed recognizes the importance of tourism and recreation to our economic diversification and prosperity, and strive to ensure all Albertans had the opportunity to enjoy our mountain areas. As a father, grandfather, MLA for Drayton Valley, Devon, and now the Minister of Tourism and Sport, I am proud to be a part of government that is championing Premier Peter Lougheed's vision for Alberta's Rockies. In Premier Lougheed's own words, quote, "I think all members are aware of the very serious pressure on our national parks in terms of overcrowding and the need to have more convenient recreation for citizens of Alberta." He went on to stress out the importance of, quote, "making sure it is developed in a way that minimizes the damage to environment and maximizes the opportunity for citizens of moderate incomes to be able to participate, perhaps even without the fullest degree of physical activity, in this very beautiful part of our beautiful province." These words still ring true 50 years later, and our government is working tirelessly to make his vision a reality. All-season resorts are expected to offer a variety of affordable and accessible experiences for people from all walks of life. Resorts also must be planned, developed, and operated in a manner that reflects Alberta's commitment to environment excellence. They will be subject to environmental impact assessments and must meet all existing environmental standards, including following the Water Act. I also know the regulator has been working closely with groups like the Yukon to Yellowstone Conservation Initiative to ensure that we are protecting wildlife corridors and encourage sustainable visitors' behavior. As part of this designation, provincial park boundaries have been adjusted to ensure areas already used by the long-standing ski resorts are designated under the appropriate regulator, impacting less than 0.03% of the province's park system. This includes increasing the size of Castle Wildland Provincial Park by 54 hectares. By attracting private investment while ensuring development is responsible and sustainable, we are striking the right balance of economic growth and environmental stewardship. Over the next decade, these 3 all-season resort areas have the potential to create 24,000 new jobs, $3.6 billion in GDP, and $4 billion in visitor spending. This means more dollars in Alberta's pockets. All-season resorts also present the opportunity to further advance Indigenous economic participation, leadership, cultural inclusion in Alberta's visitors' economy. Alberta's government is committed to continue meaningfully engage with Indigenous communities, including ensuring that treaty rights are respected. To be clear, designation is not approval of development. It is just a start of the regulatory process. Prospective project proponents can now begin public engagement, Indigenous consultation, and submit a proposal to a regulator. Each proposal will be carefully reviewed by the regulator with input from subject matter experts and affected municipalities in the area. By establishing clear timelines and expectations, Alberta's government has set a clear path forward for responsible all-season resort development. For Albertans, this means more ways to stay, play in their own backyard. It means thriving local economies, stronger communities, and ensuring that the next generation can more easily enjoy the same beautiful province that we know and we love. Alberta's future is bright, and it's awaiting right here in our own backyard. And with that, I would like to invite Chelsea Quirk with Indigenous Tourism Alberta to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Good morning, everyone. It's a very exciting day. I want to talk about the incredible opportunity presented by the province's new focus on all-season resort areas. Designations that now allow for year-round activities at iconic sites like Castle, Fortress, and Nikiska. This initiative is a powerful catalyst for our sector. It opens up these historically significant areas, and Indigenous Tourism Alberta sees this as a critical path for the expansion of Indigenous tourism experiences into high-demand markets. Indigenous tourism is a key pillar of our provincial tourism strategy, and ITA is here to champion and lead that work. We know empirically that international and Canadian travelers come to Alberta looking for cultural and transformative experiences. In fact, 1 in 3 international travelers come to Alberta seeking an Indigenous tourism experience. These all-season resorts are prime locations to meet that demand. In addition to the processes that uphold treaty rights, this framework explicitly encourages meaningful Indigenous engagement and economic participation. This is where ITA comes into place, and our members, our storytellers, our communities, our entrepreneurs take a step forward. ITA will walk alongside the Government of Alberta and proponents to ensure that authentic Indigenous experiences are included as a foundational part of the future all-season offerings. We're committed to fostering dialogue that will lead to genuine Indigenous partnership and leadership in the visitor economy. This is our chance to integrate our profound cultural narratives into Alberta's most visited landscapes, creating sustainable businesses and setting a new global standard. That's a pretty exciting thing for us. We'll not just observe this development, but we will actively collaborate to shape it. Thank you, and congratulations to our friends at the Government of Alberta. I will now pass it over to Derek.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Derek Look. I'm the owner of Rabbit Hill Snow Resort, and I'm here today on behalf of Alberta Ski Areas and the Canada West Ski Areas Association. Across Alberta, 32 ski areas play a vital role in strengthening communities and enhancing the quality of life. These are far more than recreational facilities. They are gathering places that foster connection, pride, and year-round community spirit. They bring families together, create lifelong memories, and welcome visitors from across the country and around the world. Outdoor recreation is essential to the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of Albertans. Our ski areas are among the most accessible and impactful providers of these benefits. As our population grows, it's more important than ever to ensure people have opportunities to get outside, stay active, and enjoy Alberta's incredible natural landscapes in all seasons. Economically, the contribution of our ski areas is substantial. Alberta's resorts generate nearly $500 million in annual economic impact. They sustain over 5,200 jobs and generate $60 million in government revenues. With 2.5 million skier visits annually, these operations fuel tourism, support small businesses, and contribute to the economic stability, particularly in rural areas. The All Seasons Resort Act also aligns directly with Alberta's long-term tourism strategy, which calls for the responsible expansion of year-round recreation areas to help grow the province's visitor economy to $25 billion by 2035. This policy is an important step towards enabling new experiences, supporting investment, and strengthening the tourism sector for the future. For all these reasons, Canada West Ski Areas Association strongly supports the Alberta government's new All-Season Resort Act. This modernized framework, with the help of our ski areas and mountain communities, grow responsibly, expand recreation access, and continue delivering meaningful social and economic benefits to all Albertans for generations to come. Thank you very much. I'll pass it over to James.
Thank you, Derek. It's an exciting day. For nearly 4 decades, unclear regulations and sometimes outdated policy tools prevented Alberta from developing or redeveloping competitive nature-based recreation offers on public lands. Meanwhile, British Columbia and provinces in eastern Canada invested hundreds of millions of dollars. Operators here could not modernize, innovators could not build, and ultimately, Albertans now take their families and about $1.2 billion every year across the border to BC in search of experiences that can and should be made available in Alberta. That is investment, that is jobs, that is community spending leaving our province. Ensuring meaningful access to the outdoors requires a supporting policy framework and sustained ongoing investment. These regulations help close that gap, forging a path forward for new and refreshed all-season nature-based resorts that are closer to home. Most importantly, though, this framework reflects the values Albertans expect: strong environmental oversight, effective wildlife management, meaningful Indigenous consultation, and opportunities for economic participation, of course. We believe this stewardship comes from physical connection to place. When Albertans can access and enjoy our provincial lands, they carry the story of this province forward and abroad. Its nature, its places, its culture, and of course, its history. So thank you very much, and I'll pass it over to Rachel.
Good morning. We are thrilled to be part of this announcement today that Fortress and Nakiska have been named as part of Alberta's first all-season resort areas. This is more than just policy for us. It's a powerful step forward for the communities, families, and visitors who know and love Kananaskis country. For decades, these resorts have been part of our shared story: Nakiska's Olympic legacy, Fortress Mountains, rugged mountains, and the white, unfiltered spirit of all of Kananaskis that inspires so many adventures. Now, with the province opening the door to responsible year-round development, our beloved backyard can be discovered in so many more ways. What this means for us is simple: a breadth of opportunity for people to experience the outdoors they love, not just in winter, but in every season. One of Tourism Canmore-Kananaskis' focus areas is to responsibly expand year-round visitation, especially in shoulder seasons. This move will allow for guests from around the globe to stay and play all year round. Of course, we are equally passionate that growth must never come at the expense of the land. We are encouraged to see environmental stewardship at the center, including clear commitments to wildlife protection, water conservation, wildfire mitigation, and thoughtful, sustainable development. That matters to us because protecting this landscape is at the heart of what we do. In fact, TCK's Regenerative Tourism Action Plan lays out how we can not only safeguard these lands, but leave them even better. And from what we see every day in Canmore and Kananaskis, we know that when people get out into nature, they are even more inspired to care and protect it. The potential benefits for tourism businesses and workers are equally meaningful. More year-round activity means more stable jobs, stronger small businesses, and more support for the visitor economy that upholds so many families in and around Canmore and Kananaskis. This is the beginning of a new chapter, and we are ready to be active partners in shaping what comes next. Whether it's supporting public engagement, championing environmental responsibility, or helping visitors connect with this place in deeper, more meaningful ways, we are committed to ensuring that any new development enhances what makes Kananaskis so special. On behalf of Tourism Canmore-Kananaskis, we are excited for the possibilities ahead. We are so grateful to be part of building a future where many people can explore, connect, and feel at home in these mountains we all love. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that brings us to the end of the formal portion of our news conference. We'll move now to the media question and answer portion. We do have time for one question and one follow-up, and I'll ask media to please identify yourself and your outlet, as well as let us know who you are directing the question to. So we will start in the room and then go to reporters on the line afterwards.
Connor Hogg, CTV News. This question is for the minister. I was reading this and I wanted to make sure that it was clear. Exactly how are these locations decided on, and is it the people who live there who are promoting them as a potential spot for these all-season resorts?
Well, currently for these three, Nikiska, Fortress, and Castle resorts, there are existing ski resorts that are already there. We just putting them in the proper regulator so that they can have year-round opportunities, and they can not only maintain their facilities, but they can actually expand their facilities as well.
Okay, so are we going to be seeing potentially new resorts built as a result of this, and with similar amenities being added to those locations as well?
Well, in Alberta, we have 10 new development zones, and application will be looked at from all across the province.
Thank you, Connor.
Yeah, Catherine Burkowski, all Alberta. So you mentioned Peter Lougheed and how he wanted to make sure there was pressure taken off the parks, but we also saw K-Country become a lot more popular and the need to bring in that pass to sort of mitigate. So can you explain how you're going to balance the growth and economic importance with that conservation?
Well, absolutely. Great question, because, announcing this designation right now with the new resorts, it will take pressure off the rest of the areas as well. And because we're taking to year-round, it will basically diversify throughout the year the visitors' pressure in our province, and having another location across the province would also help to mitigate that pressure.
I'm wondering if yourself or someone else could maybe speak to some of those year-round amenities that we expect to see. I know some ski hills in Edmonton have obstacle courses and downhill biking and that sort of thing. What sorts of amenities can we?
Well, we're going to be looking at the proponent bringing their ideas forward. But we're expecting to also see hiking, mountain biking, zip lining, authentic indigenous opportunities as well. So the whole range of different opportunities. I don't know if anybody else wants to add anything else to the all-season activities, but those are the top of my mind right now. But we'll be looking at different proposals as well.
All right. Well, if we don't have anyone else on the floor here, operator, could you please put through the first caller on the line?
We have Ted Henley from CBC Calgary. Your line is open.
Oh, hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my question. As you heard, it's Ted Henley from CBC News in Calgary. And this first question of mine is for the minister and also for James Jackson. James, if you could also respond, I'd appreciate it. Can you elaborate how this designation will, keep people from Alberta from spending their money in BC when they're playing and skiing and mountain biking and all of those things? Like, can you elaborate on that? Especially, Minister and James, if you have some numbers to put behind it, like how many people are going to BC that you're hoping to keep here in Alberta, and what kind of dollars are we talking about?
Well, I'll start with dollar amount. Currently, Albertans are spending $1.2 billion more than BC residents in Alberta. And with creating more options, more opportunity, and year-round opportunities, we're expecting more Albertans stay and play and enjoy the beautiful province we have in Alberta here. So it will be just creating the opportunities, creating a variety of opportunities, having the year-round opportunities as well. And we're hoping that we can equalize that spending between Alberta and BC. Currently, we have 13 all-season resorts in the public land in BC, and we only have 0 in Alberta here. So with this designation, we're going to change that, and we're going to have more Albertans to stay and play and enjoy our beautiful backyard in the province.
So I think the minister did a fantastic job providing the overview. What I might provide just in terms of context for you is $1.2 billion of Albertans' money is traveling across the border to spend throughout the visitor economy in BC. I think the objective here is to develop product within Alberta that Albertans can use all year round, not to mention international visitors from abroad that can experience the full totality of Alberta's visitor economy. So appreciate the question. Thank you.
And can we please put the next caller on the line?
Oh.
Next question is from Greg Colgan from CBC. Your line is open.
Hi, thank you. Yes, Greg Colgan from CBC, based in Banff and Canmore. The question's kind of more open-ended to whoever you think is best to answer it, but in the areas, there are existing provincial park management plans for the 3 resort areas. How will they play a role in any future development in those 3 potential all-season resorts?
Well, thank you for the question. We will consider existing management plans, and we will be also implementing based on other resorts in North America to make sure that we are compared to other jurisdictions in terms of management plans.
And for example, for the existing provincial park management plans for Nikiska Fortress, they're about 2 decades old. I looked at Parks Canada. They do their management plans about every 10 to 12 years or so. Are there any plans to update the existing management plans in Kananaskis?
Yes, absolutely. So the new regulator will be looking at updating and reviewing all the management plans as well, and considering our own and other provinces, and generally what's happening in North America as well. So the regulator will be looking at that.
Okay, perfect. And we'll take one more from the line, please.
we have Ted Henley from CBC Calgary. Your line is open.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I just had a bit of a follow-up from my first question there. I'm just wondering, Minister, if you can explain to me how having these resorts now being used 12 months of the year and, possibly, getting bigger and, expanding, amenities, et cetera, how is that going to be a good thing for the environment and wildlife in the areas in the vicinity? Because going 12 months, just my logical brain would think that it's going to be worse because you're going to have people 12 months of the year there now instead of just during the winter time.
Well, good question here. So two things I can add to that. We're extensively working with Minister of Parks and Minister of Environment, and also with the group Yukon to Y2Y. And we are considering wildlife corridors. We are also looking at the wintering habitats for bighorn, our bear habitats. We're looking at all the habitat in the area there to make sure that we accommodate wildlife corridors as well as the general habitat in the area.
Thank you. And the last one on the line, please.
Greg Colgan from CBC. Your line is open.
Yeah, thanks again. Just following up on that, obviously a lot of consultation will take place with different groups, and like you were mentioning with Y2Y, how will those talks play out, and is there a certain idea when potential wildlife crossings or fencing may be added in these areas? Is there something that would trigger that happening?
Yeah, so we're doing consultation now before announcement, but also when the resorts will be applying, a regulator will be also working with Y2Y and other groups and the Ministry of Forestry and Park, Ministry of Environment to make sure that all this, everything is, consulted and directly have inputs from all the ministries and environment groups in the area.
All right, so that brings us to the end of this announcement. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone, for coming today, and it's a great announcement for Alberta.